my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I make sugar cookies for the holidays. For the ingredients, you're going to need sugar, flour, salted butter, eggs, vanilla extract, salt, and baking powder. You're going to need 4 cups of flour, 1.5 cups of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 eggs, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon salt, and you're also going to need 1 cup of salted softened butter or 2 sticks of butter. For the icing, you're going to need 4 cups of powdered sugar, 3 tablespoons of meringue powder, 8 tablespoons of room temperatured water, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. So if you are new here, please go ahead and hit that like, comment, and subscribe button down below. And click on the notification bell so you guys can be notified when my videos do get posted and so we can become friends. So I ended up getting the Wilton brand of the meringue powder, and I got a 16-ounce container because they didn't actually have anything smaller at Walmart. So I did get this from Walmart, and it was a little bit more on the pricier side, I would say. So if you do end up using this, that would be the only thing that I would say to look out for. So here I'm just going to be going ahead and adding my 2 sticks of room temperature butter, and then I'm also going to be adding in my 3 eggs to the mixer as well, along with the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now I'm just going to go ahead and give that a mix in the stand mixer until things are combined. And now I'm going to stop the stand mixer so I can scrape down the bowl to make sure everything gets incorporated into the mix. Okay, so next I'm just going to be adding in the sugar and the salt to the mix as well, and I'm going to go ahead and give that a nice little mix. Once that is mixed in a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the sides of the bowl and mix it again to make sure everything gets incorporated into the mix. Alright, so now that I scraped down the mixer, I'm going to go ahead and add in the baking powder, and then I'm going to mix that in just a little bit to make sure it's incorporated, and I'm going to scrape down the bowl. Now once I got the bowl scraped down, I'm going to go ahead and add in my 4 cups of flour, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on a low mix setting so the flour doesn't fly out of my stand mixer and go everywhere. Once everything is incorporated, I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the bowl and the paddle as well, so that way I can make sure that everything gets incorporated into the cookie dough mix, because you don't want everything to be dry, and you want to make sure that your ingredients are incorporated in the mix really well, or else you're going to have some really awkward looking cookies. So now I'm just going to go ahead and mix it and continue to scrape down the bowl and the paddle as well a few more times, just to be sure that all of my mix is incorporated in the cookie dough. Once everything is incorporated in the cookie dough mix and I'm satisfied, I'm going to go ahead and transfer it into a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer or the fridge for about 30 minutes. In my case, I'm going to put it in the freezer overnight because it is pretty late and I'm just going to work on the cookies tomorrow. So here I am just taking some of the flour and spreading it onto my silicone baking sheet so that way my sugar cookie doesn't stick to my mat when I'm rolling it out. So here I am just rolling out my sugar cookie dough about ½ an inch thick, or about the size of a bottle cap when it's laying down flat. So once I'm satisfied with rolling out my cookie dough, I'm just going to go ahead and take my cookie cutters, and of course in this case, since it is Christmas, I'm just going to be taking my Santa cookie cutter and cutting out some cookies. And then I'm going to be taking them off of this baking sheet and putting it onto another silicone baking sheet to put in the oven. Alright, so this is how the Santa cookies came out. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven for 350 degrees, and I'm going to put them in for 8 minutes. Now you don't want to have them more than 8 minutes because they are going to burn in the oven. Alright, so once the Santa cookies are done, I'm going to take them out and place them on a cooling rack once they have cooled down a little bit on the baking sheet. And now I'm just going to go ahead and roll out the rest of my cookie dough and cut the rest of them out with the rest of my cookie dough cutters. So now I'm going to take my powdered sugar and I'm going to go ahead and put in the meringue powder as well. And I'm going to just mix this in a little bit. And now I'm adding in the water and the vanilla extract, and I'm going to go ahead and mix this in as well. As you can see, the powdered sugar is still on the side of the bowl, so I'm going to go ahead and scrape it down and try to incorporate everything into the mix. So after scraping down my bowl a few times, you're going to want to mix it and make sure there are no lumps in the sugar cookie icing mix. And finally, this is how the icing should look for the sugar cookies. To decorate the cookies, I'm using the edible color markers from Wilton. I'm just going to go ahead and take this black marker and I'm going to go ahead and outline on how I want my cookies to look. So I'm only going to be decorating a few of these cookies because not a lot of people in my household actually eats the sugar cookie with the icing on top. Now if you don't have a squeeze bottle for your icing, you can just go ahead and put it in a Ziploc bag instead and just cut out a tiny little hole so that way you're able to pipe out your icing and get a nice clean line while you're piping your icing. And this icing is also good for piping and filling as well, so you don't have to worry about making two different types of icings because yes, there is a difference. So I'm just going ahead and outlining my snowman and just filling it up so that way I can make sure that I get everything completely covered. And once everything is completely covered, I'm going to set it aside so it can dry. So once the snowman is dry, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start decorating my Mrs. Snowman sugar cookie. And here I'm just drawing on the sugar cookie so I can make sure that I get the design that I actually want. So the tool that I'm using to smooth out my icing, you can actually use a toothpick instead. You don't actually have to use this specific tool because sometimes, depending on where you get them from, they can be expensive. Now because I didn't have any colors to make it like a tan color or a really light brown color, I'm using some yellow sugar cookie icing instead. And I'm just going to go ahead and smooth out the sugar cookie icing on my cookie. So now I've finished decorating some of the cookies. Unfortunately, my camera ended up dying, so I'm just going to insert a clip of how the sugar cookies turned out. Okay friends, so this is how the sugar cookies turned out, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please go ahead, hit that like, comment, and subscribe button down below, and click on the notification bell so you guys can be notified when my videos do come out. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!